top5rapwebsite.com. You already know what's going on. Today we got Fab 4ts, The World From My Eyes. Track number 1, Immortal Decisions. First track gonna be a vibe. See you on the beat.
Who is more worthy, the king of the pine? Who is more thirsty, the lake of the swine? What is more worth it, the loss of the draw? Where are your morals, they stuck in the math.
Okay, let me hear that again. I don't think I caught those bars like I should have.
Who is more worthy, the king of the pine? Who is more thirsty, the lake of the swine? What is more worth it, the loss of the draw? Where are your morals, they stuck in the math. The logical reason's not working that fast. The price on the pedestal, what is the price? Can take no advice, cause you're always right. Right on my wrongs, I'm never that right. I drop on my pride and said luck to the side. All of my daughters were never too right. God bless it.
Okay, so here he seems like he's kind of being more vulnerable. The first like 3-4 bars, kind of hard to understand what he was saying in the middle. I heard the beginning and end of the bars, couldn't really understand the middle part, but we continue.
People that shoots in my sight, visit the levels still seen by my sight. Stuck in my mind, at dark I lay. Mouth full of hate, you know I'ma just pray. Now look they hate and know I can relate. I'll take a loss instead of some draw. My pride was to say that I'm better than you. Deep in my mind I have room to improve. Wasn't born with a silver spoon, raised up with a sharp.
Being honest.
34th, money my way, I ain't driving no sport. Money get longer, your life getting short. I stick to the background.
He said no silver spoon. It was a dirty knife and a fork. You know, didn't have money. He wasn't driving a sport. You know, so sports cars. The sports editions of vehicles are usually a little bit more expensive than the standard version.
It be the bloody days with my bag down. I'm looking at the sky, didn't mean not to lie. Look up in my eyes and say I wonder why. Stay quiet and humble. Stay like a bee and be ready to rumble. Silence is royal. Shoot at the demons and fuck the recoil. Just not for money or wealth. I'd rather be happy with health. I soar like an eagle. My pen is so lethal. Murder he wrote, cause I wrote it down. The key to your city, but where's your crown? You want a statue where you want it now? You got the game messed up. You're a little too ahead of yourself. I said, the dream and the nightmare, look up to the Lord's Prayer. I pray for my blessings, don't talk about you.
So I'll say I like the beat a lot, you know what I'm saying? And he's flowing on it for sure. The flow that's here, you know, and he probably won't use the same flow the whole album. I mean, I would hope not. But the flow that's here, I don't think it, even though he's executing it well, I don't think it complements his delivery. Because it sounds like he has an accent. Like it's not too prevalent. The only reason I say it sounds like he has an accent is because some words aren't coming out super clearly, but most of them are. But like key words of the bar are like, I'm not catching those. So I would say the fast flow really doesn't complement that, because then it's like really hard to catch what you're saying. And he seems like a guy who's writing his lyrics, lyrical guy, so he wants you to pay attention to his lyrics. But you know, that's kind of hard with a faster flow. And then also, you know, with, you know, the kind of word slur that we have.
That shit don't impress me, don't care how you steppin', don't care how you dressin'. Fuck all the money and fuck all the fame. That won't live on, so I work on my name. My reign is imperial, life full of riches, and that's not material. We pave our own roads, and that's what I'm doing. I worked on the vision, you see what I'm brewing. The humbles, the hated, drop beef in the bacon. The word is connected, the years that we wasted.
Beef in the bacon.
Open your eyes and forget the time. Been reading the lies, don't care about views, so watch no fake news. They program our minds, the hedge on our life, just read the robots. This place are political, this shit is spiritual. Time to wake up and it's time to make sense. They trapping the youth with the lust and the sex. The weapons, the media, serving the system is being obedient. Work on ourselves, so work on our goals. Work for our dreams, or work on our souls. Being straight up, go bad for these clones.
Okay, that was Immortal Decisions. You know, so it seems like on that song he was being real vulnerable, being real honest with himself. Kind of spoke about his upbringing. This is a proper intro, because even if you don't know this artist, this intro track is giving you a dive into kind of who he is. So track number 2, 24 Karat. I would like to know who's on the credits production wise, but on Spotify it does not come up. Maybe it's him. For the Soul Records. If he's making his own beats, that's even more impressive. So.
Oh, I like that sound.
Nice little sample.
Right now, Ali, give me a tap into the future. Hey, yo, Fab. Let him know.
Tell me the value inside of a dollar. We gave it a number and no one wants stack. It was never just in it, just rapping for money. Definitely not for some fame. Don't got a bucket of crash. Tell me who rapping like Fab. I got my own group. I build my own school. I'm making big moves. Everyone sounding the same. They flock up and talk down on my name. They spreading my head to those who doing some good.
Okay, so I like this flow. He came in with a different flow, so you know that's something even mainstream rappers, a lot of them don't do. Like they don't come in with multiple flows, so it's a totally different flow. He's showing out, you know, a faster flow. The last song, it was kind of a fast flow at certain points. The cadence kind of switched up at certain points. This one is a straight boom in your face. So I'm messing with this.
Feel like my head be on Venus, be at the crib, overthinking my oversaturated, too many thoughts, like when I'm making it out. They say they love you different. Whoa, look like it's by someone step up and blow. Now I'm stepping up, cause it's been a minute since I wrote in my pad. I'm getting mad.
You going in?
One got hella ammunition ready to blow. They say do it without will, but my champ is laying low. Keep it real against the Knicks every track. I got 20K for any bitch that wants to counter that. On anything I blow your ovaries. Never chase a bitch for her ovaries. Yeah. I got 20K for any bitch that wants to counter that. On anything I blow your ovaries. Never chase a bitch for her ovaries. Yeah.
Alright, so he going in here. He going in here. We get another verse or what?
Not chasing no commas, not chasing no ghosts. I know that I'm different, I don't mean no boast. Don't try to be crazy, I'll rep your coast. Confidence over 10 years, proof of my notebook and pen. Yeah, I'm living and learning, I joined the game, I laid the game, I was fearing. The minds that I buried who see 24 karat and glamour. It's not the numbers I value, I don't want diamonds, just white tees. Focus on my longevity and my quality.
Humble.
Set a life key, stay on low key. Fuck the rap shit, you can catch both these hands in a matter of minutes. Come bottles bleeding, you need a dentist. Catch reflect everything around me. Cream point is this rap shit will never change me. My future bitch got a better chance to change me. 24 karat values to the core.
Okay. So this beat go hard. I like that beat. 24 karat, you know. If I had to choose between the first two tracks, 24 karat is dope. But Immortal Decisions, it played its role as an intro. So I'm not mad at that one either. Track number 3, A Father's Soul Ties. So I guess this is gonna be a sad song, man. You know, these samples, this is definitely all one producer.
Hey, King Solomon prayers admit that we players, admit we my haters, the cycle we playing, we stay getting faded, we still moving shady. I am old school, this big ain't free. This is my father, keep burning like lava. If I just be constant, the reason that we keep tripping, I lost it back when I.
So he's saying mi casa, so you know, I was right, you know, the accent. Shout out to the Mexican homies, always.
Was hurting, hunting, forget it, turn up, feel like the man. But this bad for that opportunity to get in it and swim out of the grip. But now you got the demons on your head, cause you laid up.
Now, this one, this voice is kind of mixed below the. It's mixed a little bit lower. You know, in the first two tracks, I didn't have an issue with mixing. On this one, it seems kind of low.
In the bed, for some kitty that feel like some fish. Now you brand, just keep it real with this raw skin.
I fuck with this beat though.
The world makes circles, never had the body.
Like some Marvin Gaye shit.
This battle, you gun down, karma ain't serve justice, so now your son go through it. Got them change to your last name. If everything clears like you be a damn shame. This is a cold game. I couldn't be a claim this Hall of Fame, but the energy went to waste, dog.
See, we're invested in the future. So the decisions I'm making now is gonna affect.
Nice little vocal effects, switching it up.
Just break the change. If everything would be free, they still be charging the fee. Soul ties got a motherfucker fucked up. I'm not sliding into no problem. I'm not dragging no more chains than my father locked me in. And I'm riding to the end. Never gonna fold on my word, on my morals. Never again. We introverted with generational curses. Lurking, let's break a old cycle like old news. Stop letting them shackles on.
Introverted with generational curses.
Create new chains of offspring that evolve instead of involving actions of the old you. Fighting temptation and knowing what's reality. Fighting demons tied to the soul. Temptations to blow your lady, call her side, her bro.
Fighting temptation. Yeah, he said, I'll rewind now, I don't want to miss those bars. Fighting temptations. Is this a temptation sample? Because if so, then that's a nice little Easter egg right there.
Instead of involving actions of the old you. Fighting temptation and knowing what's reality. Fighting demons tied to the soul. Temptations to blow your lady, call her side, her bro. Your soul been tied to be a bro. Now I see why we lose hope. Nothing of mine is free. I'm invested in the future because I'm trying to lose that life's a bit free. This is why this big ain't free. I'm just being mindful.
This dick ain't free. Kendrick.
Generational curses. I see the effects of it, and it's time to break the chains. Somebody has to break the chains eventually, and it's not gonna stop if that's the case.
Okay, I messed with that one, and all these beats so far, good beats, and I like the choice of sample because, you know, it takes me back. Track number 4, American Heroin OD. Drastically different beat. This is a little bit more industrial. Let's see how he hop on this. Let's hear a different flow. See if we hear a different flow, different delivery.
It's the American Heroin OD story. Lies between the lines, too many detours. Guess I was too young to know the truth about what happened to you.
Now the mixing wasn't an issue on the first 2 songs. These last 2 just sound a little, the voice just sounds a little bit low, or maybe it's just the beat is just a little, or not a little, much higher than the vocals.
Floating around, I never had a clue.
I need to turn it up.
It was Vietnam that fucked you up. I didn't know that then. Hearing stories, you should have told that kid. Thinking about over the hill days at grandma's house.
So it sounds like he's talking about his grandfather, and maybe his grandfather, you know, was having personal traumas that he was going through, but it was due to the Vietnam War, if I caught that correctly.
Watching Freddy versus Jason on that old ass couch. I can ramble on about the memories down to the last picture. I remember saying cheese. The last time I seen you, you had a shattered jaw. Told me you were on the bus and had a scary fall. That last talk you vaguely confessed to survivor's guilt. Looked up to you even more because you was drunk.
And that's true because, you know, old folks, they slipping and falling is a big issue with old folks, you know, because especially when they're much older, real fragile. So he said a shattered, someone had I think he's talking about his grandfather, a shattered jaw from falling, you know. So I mean, that's real talk. You know, you don't really hear artists speak on that much.
A few months after my brother passed, my mom told me that you were gone. It was a broken my head. At that moment I wanted to fall down dead, with no tears left to cry. Just confused by life, I wondered why.
It's the industrial part, didn't it go smooth, production wise? We still got half the track left, so we're gonna get a beat switch. What's about to happen? Some piano.
They told me they found you in a hotel room unconscious. Dirty life is sad to speak about it. Didn't know too many details. I was very confused, but I knew as long as I lived, I'd never be with you. That's just cruel reality. Years later, me and my cousin were at home trading stories. We grazed many categories, so we were talking about you. Every detour began to look clear. She admitted your drug addictions over the years. Told me that war really ruined your life. Had many sleepless nights.
Yeah, war.
Every day was a hustle, and you would mentally struggle. Many suicide attempts and murders. Saying all of that emotionally hurt her. Saying your life was a hell, and how you never fell on a bus. You had shot yourself. My heart broke. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't unsee it. What a sorrowful feel. Knowing now heroin and depression was steering your wheel.
Oh, heroin.
Me, you always look so happy. Behind the scenes, I never knew what happened. PTSD serving America. Addictions that followed. Lived a deep life that was also hollow. And from that day that we were talking, I seen you were truly built strongly. Everything I heard was a bit of a shame, but I still loved you and looked at you the same. And it's tough for me, but it's a true story, and I wanted the truth. All these crazy things that I heard about you, at least the truth broke free and came clean. This is the story of the American heroin OD.
Yeah, so that's a deep song. So this is a dude, obviously, from the first track up until this track, he gonna rap about his pain. He writing in the pain is what's motivating a lot of his lyrics. So that is a real topic, though, you know, especially veterans, especially combat veterans who have been in combat. You know, they come back from war. There's a lot of pain involved with that, you know, physical pain and also mental pain. So especially in America, like, we have like a big prescription drug problem where you can get Vicodin, you can get Percocet, you can get all types of pills to help deal with a wide array of pain. And what happens is, and this is just based on documentaries that I've seen and studies I've done in school, what happens is, you know, you build a tolerance to those pills. So it's either you up your dosage of the pills, which is dangerous, which can result in an OD. But another route that people take is heroin, because, again, just based on documentaries I've seen, I could be wrong, heroin has a similar pain relieving effect as many of the popular pain pills that they'll give you, but it's more accessible because the black market, I mean, that's a lot easier than for some people going to the doctor and having them up their dosage, and it's a lot more, for some people it's a lot more effective. Like they need a lot less heroin than they would need pills. Like, they don't need to take 6 pills in the morning, 6 pills at night. And it barely works anyway. It's like it barely is relieving the pain. Whereas people go with heroin, and this is why we have a huge heroin and meth problem in this country. It's more effective and it's accessible, especially depending on where you live. Like, you can send one of your family members who doesn't have the prescription to get the heroin, as opposed to, you know, begging your doctor for a high dosage. So, I mean, that's a real story right there, you know, and that's a real issue that we have in America. So track number 5, Sirens. I think every song we got a different flow, different delivery. No repeated content so far. This is definitely all one producer.
Government spread fear, signs all I hear. Government spread fear, signs all I hear. Government spread fear. Yeah, the numbers rise with the temperature. Yesterday was a time where playing outside was easier, a simpler time. We ride with the windows open, fresh air is all we wanted. The news said we all die eventually, so we responded. Did it get cold cause of February? Middle of a war zone, sirens all I hear. The average raises as the years age. I'm getting damaged by the losses of my bridges. Habits overcrowded while we oversaturated with fear. The fear that they pumping through tear gas, I kinda feel mad. Suburbs wanna be hoods like they from the field, but I know real shooters like Buddy Hield. They'll blow your head off cause they high as fuck.
Buddy Hield, you know, didn't he play for the Cavs when LeBron was there? That's an interesting reference. Real shooters like Buddy Hield, and you can name a lot of shooters. You can name like a Lillard, like a Trae Young. Buddy Hield, that's, you know, interesting reference.
It's scared you're gonna blow first, there's not one more hearse. They pull cameras out like it's rehearsed. Shootouts got motherfuckers shooting in reverse. Draw 4 more bodies to the toe. Came in with a started 5, your homies met their own creator. Now lone wolf, that's who knows. Signs all I hear. Government spread fear. Signs all I hear.
Little hook.
Government spread fear. Sirens stuck in the head, left the blade. No more room for tears to be shed. News spread fear, fueled by the echoes of cops flying down avenues. The youth, I lose screws in this machine we call a city. On edge, hit licks and flags, crime scenes replace coffins with bed. Put the fears in the back of our heads. Violence spreads on the path for bread. Instead of change, we stick by the trigger and figure we're healthy enough to raise the next generation in this city where it's gritty. That's really silly. How can damaged fruit plant seeds and expect growth? A concrete can't birth a rose when it don't even grow out the mud and it's water with bad blood. I'm looking at you.
The rose from the concrete reference, he said concrete can't grow a rose, especially when it's mud watered with bad blood, you know. So basically blood in the streets, you know, that's the reference he's painting. So again, this is a dude that's writing straight from a place of pain. So you could feel it in the lyrics and also in his delivery. So track number 6, we got the So.UN. So this one's a lot louder than the rest. Blanco. So I did hear a producer tag there. Let's see if I can find his name on the credits on Spotify. Samples.
Do you praise the sun giving the sunshine, or is it the son of the Most High? Two sides with no in between is the code that we go by.
So right here, this remind me of Ransom. I ain't gonna hold you. It's how Ransom be coming on, no drums and just straight. Like I'm giving you all the lyrics here. Crime Apple too. Crime Apple, that's for sure.
Sunshine, or is it the son of the Most High? Two sides with no in between is the code that we go by. I'm seeing too many things I can't co-sign. I know it won't enhance the bloodline. Can't give it to the design of the gold mine. I'm waving it on social platforms, breaking the steer from being lukewarm in the sun. The fire either burns or it dries you. A future smell when gnashing the teeth or gold rose benefiting from your belief. Too many trying to play this game like it's cheap. Playing for keeps, every move affects the next piece in the grand scheme. It's not make-believe. We all need room to breathe. Generations still read from the black sheep that are not forever sleep. Many last names will forever weep. Jewelry stores copy chains heavy as the ones you already drag and brag over jewels on your neck. Only put a target on your head, better yet, planting seeds.
This crime apple for sure. Salute the crime apple, you know what I mean?
Bigger chains, but the one hanging from your neck gets stained. There's no one else to blame when you play the game as if the future never came and lit the flames and turned away from the dove. Disappointed the man above because you bowed to the sky sun. Creating toxic blood from radiation. Continue
going in, nigga.
UV rays. This why the evil stays ablaze. You slaughter sacrifice for food of forgiveness. Business benefit from sickness. Feel the richness. No regrets to those who witness. Where a smile behind the blood is super vicious. Everyone wants clean palms and lemon trees, but maybe your role is planting the first seed. Is it we in need? Too many crowds.
Yeah, that's a fact. Everybody want, what you say, palm trees and lemon trees. But what if your role is just planting a seed for other folks to, you know, benefit from? You know, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm like, man, why I ain't get no palm trees? Like, he's using palm trees, lemon trees as a reference for like generational wealth, I would assume. You know, everybody want the generational wealth. Everybody want to be rich now. But what if you're the one who has to start it? You know, so congrats.
A tree grows from rainy days and heavy clouds. It's not the soil that we choose. That's how life goes. Can't choose our roots, we choose the fruit. All that missing is the sun, but what sun is truly gonna help you grow? A strong bark that feeds a nation, a rotten soil stunting the Lord's creation.
Trees bark.
Remember the time you spend in the ground is longer than the time you spend alive. That's the word for my eyes.
Okay, so that was hard for sure. Light come back, yeah, that was hard for sure. At certain points in this album, it sounded like he's trying to outflow the beat, like, or you could tell he's writing his rhymes first. So when you have like a beat with drums, it kind of constrains you to rhyme within that pattern. But on a no drum track like this, you can just go off like I said, Crime Apple does, like Ransom does. So I think he sounded the most natural on that song right there. What track are we on? Track number 7, Revenge.
Word is bond. Revenge, the place that I'm in, I'm holding no stress. I feel like a mess. I see the results. I see the loss.
Spooky beat.
Don't play me like I'm silly, cause I'm willing to slap anybody till they hardly breathing. Leaving mothers grieving, knuckles cracking or they squeezing. Blood on soil,
Teeth fine like you're teasing.
Believing in prayer, smoking on the split for a square. Ass getting tossed up, it's a burning costume. From the womb to the tomb, you were destined to fail. I'll let you prevail, avoiding the cell. No, don't send
Womb to the tomb. Shout out to Tupac.
until it dries and it's stale. Now your skin looking pale. You were never real, soul's gone. You left behind this little shell. Ride happy in hell. If that's ever possible, revenge have many people diabolical. Making plans, got them looking philosophical. Hoping riding under stars and night lines up. No way, that's super astronomical. Events unfold.
So on this song, this is the first time I heard, and I was gonna say this kind of like critique to the end of the album, but this is the first song I hear where he's like layering his vocals. So it's not just him spitting, you know, single vocal track, like he's kind of layered it. And I was also gonna save as a critique to the end, ad-libs. It doesn't sound like he's the guy that ad-libs his verses, but it's a little change right here. So we're still getting new, he's still trying new things. Like we haven't really repeated a flow yet. We haven't really repeated a flow on the album yet. And this is one rapper, it's no features that I can see.
Phase of the history, everything is chronicle. Avoid the obstacles, I'm talking hitting lists. Perfectly no obstacles, situation is resolvable. But to you it is impossible. Revenge is mandatory, and catching a body is washable. The gunshots is audible. Following demons is blind, leading blind. Ride with a homie who would tell. This is a verse I should have wrote in braille. Rains on the wall.
Cause you gotta feel it.
The cycle continues, we hunting for revenge.
Is that the producer tag? Did you buy this beat?
Just passing, I haven't got it back. Been planning to attack, I'ma catch him while he lack. Avenge loved ones who tolerated disrespect. I get that pride is hurtful, it's a deep ditch. It wasn't him, it was that this little bitch. You cuff, cop, a new gun, slut, you can't outrun. A new cycle of revenge begun. Hit and runs can't be undone. 8 hours less than shotguns, it's a shootout. Two sides fighting over pussy or words, or whatever it is. Really, it's war in the head. Man, sharpen man like iron, sharpen iron while we trading copper for the lead. It won't stop till the last drop is bled. Or everybody in this motherfucker's dead. Violence like corona, cause it's gonna spread. Many death beds, cause my high heads create war heads. Many mislands, many missteps.
Different flows.
More bread, what I've been said, my mind up. I'm looking for blood, get the blood, no overthinking, I'ma just do it. Check that box off. I'ma make sure I'ma suffer with my phones on. Be ready for that phone call. So chop out this gun and slide through. I'm straight, this is no blank, this is I'm straight hitting. After today, your surname is history. Perfect shot, green like this play from 3. Bullets to your back for talking shit. I don't care, you used to kick away my click. Click, click, click. Trigger finger itching, click, click, click. Trigger finger itching, click, click, click. Rains on the wall. Spray more leg. We hunting for revenge.
Okay. So quite a lot of dark content on this album, but the album is titled The World From My Eyes. So it's kind of giving you a look into his brain and his thought process. So we're on track number 8, Yesterday and Today.
Air up the pussy clock when I make somebody else blood clot. Next time, please.
Despite of everything I thank God.
Back to the smoothness.
God, I came across K-Dot when I did. God was setting up for a crunch of rest on my head as a kid.
He said, thank God I came across K-Dot when I did, Kendrick.
All along in the flesh, I came up as a peasant. In reality, a prince. I'm trying to be a king. I'm trying to start a wave and lead a team. I'm the QB, they gon' fable making reads. I'm starting to see, for the most part, the people I held close to me were the fakest. And it's only now I realize that history repeats. Why am I surprised? Not the ones that count favors, but I did for people more than their own blood did. I could put that on anything. If everything from tough advice to shiny rings, that's literally. Even people who've been around since the little leagues. I had people try to use me for some bread and some benefits. From a close friend to a nemesis. Toxic
Fake Friend song.
It's super venomous. More than few lied to me, looking me in my eyes, and I had evidence. But I thank God for the real ones on my side. But I regret all the time and breath I put into the wrong people. At the end of the day, I can't complain, cause I made it out the ditch that I was in. Went for many hospital visits and not being able to talk. My mother working in the system that's built for commas and digits. Inside our apartment, we got kicked out. At the same time, I lost my brother. Life hit hard. We had to wait financially with the money my brother left us. With dark clouds over the household with many rainy days. Felt like we were drowning in the grieving process. So if you lost friends, I cannot complain. But loyalty do run deep in my veins and I love hard. So when I ride, I make sure the wheels fall off. But God of all people have my back, so I can't look down. I'm so conflicted in this situation, trying to read scriptures for unanswered prayers. Got me wondering if I'm a piece of a player. Am I worthy enough to be a king or a pawn? Regardless, my soul don't got a price tag. Black dogs played my mind on this quest for love. Got me digging in my roots. On my knees praying at night, fighting tears in my room.
Black Dog, Questlove, The Roots.
Feel like I'ma sell out if I shed emotion on something so small compared to my crumbling past. Though that pain didn't last, now I'm wondering if it's my ego and pride. This toxic feeling like crying, this lying, that's the world from my eyes.
Okay, so that was a return to the feel that we got, you know, in the first 3-4 songs. Smooth, you know, very introspective, very he's kind of storytelling his own life. It's kind of like a biography a little bit. Track number 9, What Could Have Been. So I'm hearing different producer tags. Maybe it's not all the same producer. But if he picked these beats himself and it's not all the same producer, that's a good beat selection because it does sound very cohesive.
Only a niggas, 2012 with a tug on that trigger. Maybe OD with a dot of fame. Reality check cause it's not a dream. Ain't look for a win, but what could have been? Whipping her keys have been robbing kids. 2019, I'm no average Joe.
Solo violin, you know what I mean?
There to leave, I be moving hoes. I'm the show. Talk to a stove, I be moving snow. Losing myself for a couple coins. Busting all hands just to prove my point. Look at my route, have it show what I'm about. You better respect. You lucky my soul's not in debt. You niggas I fancy, these niggas I'm French. The privilege exists. Been through a lot in my life. Caught up, they clip.
It's the first song with the N-word.
Being mandatory split. Fab the notorious kid. Got no respect for the riches you claim. You ain't even working day. The story of Fab that's infested by crime. Surprised I had the chance to backhand one of you swans. Look at the time, that be a life full of shame. 90 a chest, little dang. I'm serving, but you know your lane. Would've grown to be a reaper, but now I'm reaping. I'm so in the words of you, yes, man. Filling the base like I'm fishing. Literally shooting my shot, couldn't miss it. I know y'all not getting the message. Ha! And my brother didn't go, my life be a mess. Hunting for diamonds and sex. Looking for cash don't make sense. Looking for change in some sense. That energy, the world don't need it. Instead, I'm building an era and leading. That's just a fact full and needed. This is the fact I'm fulfilling. I'm taking the lead. God told me Fab, you're a king. I rock for my team. 2012 and 10 could have been my death. Organized crowds with blood on my chest. This is a branch of the tree of reality. Grooves filled with some evil results. Playing down to the grain and the salt. But this is what could have been. Dead or locked in a dead. I'm doing God's work in the field now. Could have been peeled up. Now I have many layers. Could have been peeled out. Showing true colors. I have no control over anything. Selling medicine. I'll be taking lives. I'll be telling lies. Many courtrooms, maybe televised. Could have been selling to mothers and daughters. Instead of me losing my brother, I'm taking another. Playing the devil's game. I'll be the devil's game. He be my advocate. Strolling my avenue. I'll be the villain in life. What could have been if my brother ain't passed? Lived under 6.
You know, it's like the 7th, 8th time he's mentioned his brother's passing. So you could tell this is an event that really jarred him and jarred probably his family. So that's probably why this album even exists, is due to that event. So
Paycheck was working for food on our plate. After my brother passed, kicked out the door, so it was just 2 missions going out, nowhere to go. The cash that we had was the bread that my brother left. So we had a way, but this road was the harder way.
That's the second time he's mentioned that. So, you know, his brother sounds like he was a money getter. So the only cash that his family had is the cash that his brother left. You know, he's saying like that was a hard time for us because basically we had to make it through with that.
Now scrambling for pennies wasn't any plan, but that is how we live. Didn't understand, now I thank God daddy had a plan. Took some years and then nights to comprehend. Feel like we left for dead, but I look ahead. Now I'm built to lead. The process of losing the branch of the tree is painful, though the wind blows leaves. But yours overseas, his blood was what could have been. Destroying the building me. And my brother didn't go, my life be a mess. Hunting for diamonds and sex.
And you could feel like the pain in his delivery at some points. He's like, it's like he's damn near in a booth, like damn near losing his mind while he's spitting the verse. And we got the outro right here, track number 10, The Genesis. Some piano.
I got this reoccurring dream. I wanna run the game, fuck the industry, don't wanna lead the streets. I want the world, that with a peace of mind. I'm swinging the sword, build on my brand. Fuck all the easels with both of my hands. Making it out is a thing in the past. Playing no games cause I'm serving the mass. So chasing the bag, you're chasing that noose. Your face looking blue. This is my passion, you stick with the cap and they keep looking silly. I reach for my ceiling, if I reach a milli, then it's no big dealie. I stay grit and weighty, my mom's out the widow, but we lost so many. Won't jump out the window, that shit is not trendy. I don't worry, thought to make it this far. What if I lose it all the sleepless nights, all the endless thoughts. Damn, I can't lose it all, pay for the snakes on my lawn. If the fangs on my ankles, I'm stomping their jaws and open the door to let God and water my garden. Lately been growing, still stalling, climbing up after years of falling. Can't avoid my calling and salute the falling, cause it built me. Throughout our old decisions, feeling guilty, had to move on and carry that weight till the smile to my face. Then it was checkmate. I counted my blessings, I needed acceptance. Lived through the fire, survived the nightmares and earned my stripes. No more tears to wipe. I lived my life and I gained the wisdom. Viewed the system, built my kingdom. Foundation was needed, needed the pieces. Pain was the reason. In a hard season, the bleeding was leaving. My life was proceeded. The nature of growing, maturing. I needed to learn it. My wounds was cleansed and I made amends. I ain't write no trends, I was just me. Whatever was needed to transcend for a good ending, and it's still pending. The game's not over and I'm locked and loaded. I wish the choice.
When I say out of all the songs with drums, he's writing this one the best. It's kind of got like this, I won't say acoustic guitar, strings, real somber sounding, and I'll say what I'm about to say to the end. Let's
I thought it was bogus and now got it noted and I never folded. It was just molding my eyes, observing the time. Learn from history, down to my seed. I hope they see me. When they look in the mirror, they hopes and no fears. When joy comes in tears, the process is years. I had to accept it and learn all my lessons. Pass on my knowledge and all of my truths to all of my troops. But fallen ones, and that's down to the youth. My past and pain creates my legacy. I hold the peace, don't got time for jealousy. Life's too short for chip shoulders, but it got cold. What's the value of gold if that's what the fool holds? So apply life, play by your own codes. Cause who determines who's wrong or right? My goal is simply paint the world with my eyes. Show you my sight, deliver by rhymes, built by my environment. Gave me viruses, and me arrogant. Bonds break like money goes. Nations built by dreamers of people with goals. What does the future hold? It's based on decisions of now. People get away with what we allow. Our children can be great if we show them how. Had to raise myself to be where I'm at. Stick to being hungry on the attack, make my impact. Live for generations and build new nations. Putting back to failed citations, failed friendships, a lack of guidance, and being frightened and hearing sirens. Thinking what could have been. Breaking soul ties, avoiding revenge. Leads to a good end. Hopefully, down to my last breath, I give my praise to the Son of God. Pay my dues and struggled in this book of life, knowing I get through and take it as learning. Now I'm the worthy, eyesight no longer blurry. Kick back and no longer worry. Life was and it is what it is. You gotta accept it, do it forever and never grow. To my lost ones and my future bridges, if you hearing this, if I can mold the world to my liking, I paint it with words from painted experience. Ha!
Nice little somber beat. Alright, so that was The World From My Eyes by Fab 4ts. You know, very dark feeling, somber feeling album. This is a rapper with, you know, I get a feeling of almost anxiety when I listen through the album. You know, there are times where he's rapping and it's almost, he has so much to say that it comes off kilter. Some parts come off kilter because he's like gotta say what he's gotta say, and then like the constant references and re-referencing to traumatic events. I feel a lot of anxiety even in this album. The theme here being his view of the world, which at this moment in time, or at least when he wrote and recorded it, it sounds kind of bleak. Excuse me. He's referencing his brother, he's referencing his mom, he's referencing his grandfather, and I think I even heard him reference indirectly his father one time when he mentioned his mom was a widow or is a widow. So death is a prevalent theme on this album. A couple things I liked about the album is he has multiple styles. So, you know, it's kind of like a basketball player that doesn't have any moves. All he knows how to do is drive to the basket. You get that with a lot of rappers. Like, they don't have more than one or two styles that they can fall back on. On this album, especially the first 4 or 5 songs, I don't think he repeats the flow, and I don't think he repeats the delivery. Earlier in the album, especially on the intro, I said the accent and the fast flow kind of made some words hard to understand. Not many words hard to understand, but just some words, especially in the middle of the bar, it kind of just sounded like one word. But as I listened to him more and got a feel for his style, that became less of a problem. Like, I didn't have an issue hearing any of the bars later in the album. Maybe that was just my ear needing to be adjusted. I think the production is very cohesive. I heard a couple different producer tags on here. So I don't think it was all one producer. But that makes it even a little bit more impressive, because if he's going and picking these beats from different producers, he got producers and created a cohesive sound. So it's not an album that sounds all over the place, for sure. It does not sound all over the place. He's in like one zone, and he's giving us multiple styles in that zone. The best rappers can do this. They can take one topic or a similar topic and rap about it multiple different ways. You know, one of my favorite rappers is Currency, and he raps about weed and cars and women many different ways. Like, he has like just 2-3 topics, but he knows how to flip that topic. So that's, you know, the pros of this album. My favorite song, track number 6, the SO.UN, or the SO.UN, however you pronounce that. He sounded most comfortable there, and on the Genesis, he sounded very comfortable. Of all the songs with prevalent drums, you know, he had maybe 2 songs, 3 songs, no drums. The Genesis, he sounded very comfortable. Like, it didn't sound like he was rapping faster than the beat. And when rappers write their rhymes, usually with rappers who write rhymes first, then find beats for the rhymes, you'll have like some bars that sound kind of off the flow. That, you know, that it happens. And also American Heroin OD, track number 4, you know, I like that song just because we don't hear songs like that, you know, with that content matter, very specific content matter, and that can only be done if you're speaking directly from your life. If you're speaking direct experience from your life, you're going to have these very niche topics that very few rappers have. So American Heroin OD, track number 4, was definitely one of those songs speaking about multiple topics: war, and then the PTSD that comes from after war, and then I don't think he spoke on the pain pills, the pain pills that come as a result of that. He more so spoke on the heroin side, which seemed to be the cause of overdose for the loved one he was speaking about. But usually the pain pills are the bridge to the heroin, because they're similar, and that's a whole nother issue. So I think this is a dope album. You know, this is a guy that's speaking directly from his heart, from pain. Hopefully we get in the future, The World From My Eyes Part 2, and it's a much more lighthearted album, and it's a much more, you know, bouncy album, you know, that feels good, because I think that would signal that Fab 4ts has hit a corner in his life, and he's now reached a place where, you know, a better place in life. But even if we got a part 2 and it was, you know, still the same kind of dark theme, as long as he's able to flip his topics and continue to do what he's doing here, I think it'll still be a good album. One thing I would say is some of the songs are definitely mixed differently than others. Like, it's not a consistent mix. Some songs have no problem with the mix at all, like the first 2 songs and like the Genesis. Like, I don't find any issue with the mix. But then some songs, his voice is just a bit below the beat. Not the worst I've heard though. Some albums I've reviewed on here, you know, it's like, Like, what's going on with this mix? But yeah, overall, you listen to this album, you get a feel for who this guy is, and you start to even feel for the guy. Like, you feel for him. So as an artist, that's, again, even mainstream successful artists, they have not reached a point to where you know who they are. Like, you just know, oh, okay, they make turn up music, they make this type of music, but you don't necessarily, they don't have the skill to really make you feel what they're saying. Fab 4ts has that skill. So yeah, man, if I had to rate this album on one listen, which I do not like doing, I guess about 3.5 stars. This is a very good, very good album. You know, there are a few times where the verses seem to run on, or where some songwriting, some more polished songwriting would maybe help connect these songs better. Like, there are some points, you know, in some songs where the verse is just going on and on. It may be better to put a bridge there, or, you know, this or that. But you do hear he's trying hooks, he's trying things, and he's a lot more polished than a lot of underground guys, you know, that are trying to put out music independently. So shout out to Fab 4ts. I really like the album cover too. Dope album cover. It's very difficult to convey the type of emotion that he conveyed, and convey the stories, and to feel like you kind of know his story, you know, after listening to it. Again, popular artists struggle to do this over the course of an album. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And artists, if you would like me to review your album, like I've just done this one here, be sure to go to top5rapwebsite.com. I streamlined that process for you. I'll review just a song, I'll review a whole album. Just let me know, fill out that form, let me know. And this is top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.